everyone, and welcome back to the Pinwheel cards, take 2. For some reason my iPhone decided that it had enough of listening to me waffle on and turned itself off. So we were at the point where we had almost done the 4 backgrounds, and I was fussy cutting out 2 camper vans and 2 beetles, and hopefully you heard me say that the clever people at Stampin' Up have not joined the, hopefully you can see that, packages. Let me take it off the ink pad and stamp block. They've not joined the packages directly to the roof of the car, which makes it way easier if you want to cut them off, and that's what I've done. I'll keep them for something else, but I've cut those off for now. So what I'm going to do now is grab a blending pen, and then we are going to get some colour on these bits and get this card put together in case Facebook, or not Facebook, sorry, my iPhone decides to do it again. So what I've got here is blender pens. They come in a pack of 3. They're in the annual catalogue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Bumblebee. So if you give your ink pads a squish, creates this handy little palette for you. The pens have 2 ends. So I'm just going to pick some ink up, and I'm just going to very quickly colour in my camper van. Now I'm going to do this as quickly as I can, like I said, in case the iPhone gremlins decide to turn me off again. I will post a picture of this card finished on my Facebook page in case. Okay, so I'm just colouring in there. And actually the top half of our van is white, so I can just get a little bit of more colour on my pen. Go around the wheel arches. This is where it's not entirely grammatically correct, because camper vans don't have wheel arches that stick out like that. Beetles do, camper vans don't. Oh, my camper van certainly doesn't anyway. But we'll allow Stampin' Up a little bit of poetic license. They can't make an exact replica, and they can't use the VW sign without permission from VW. Okay, so my camper van doesn't, as I said, doesn't have sticky out arches, wheel arches, and they are yellow, so we'll just give those a little bit of colour on there. The glass is obviously clear, and mine has a white top and white bumpers. Okay, so to get the colour off your blends pen, you just give it a little scribble until it comes clear. Okay, so my daughter's beetle is red. So somewhere on my desk here, yep, there it is. I have some Poppy Parade. Okay, I'm just gonna do the same thing. Squeeze it together. You have to excuse the fact these aren't very well coloured, but I'm just really conscious of the fact that I'm going to get switched off again. Okay. Oh, that's a nice bright red. Now her beetle does have sticky out wheel arches. But it does have grey running boards. And a little red boot. Again, this isn't my best colouring. I think I could probably colour a whole lot neater than this. And actually, what I would have been more sensible to have done would have been to colour it before I cut it out. But when have I ever been sensible? Would have given me a bit more cardstock to hold on to, rather than just this little bit. Okay. Okay, and she does actually have colour-coded wheels, so we're just going to go around A little bit there. I guess I never left those so you can, so they're almost white walls, but hers are colour coded to her car. I'm using Poppy Parade for this. Her car is actually flame red. Right, there we go. And we'll just scribble that colour off. You can see when the colour's gone, you can still see the colour on the tip, but once it's all gone, then it doesn't show on the paper. Okay, so, oh, Mr. Wheel Arch. Quickly put that in. Can't have that, can we? That's better. Okay, and as I said, she does have metal running boards, so I think we need a little bit of grey for that. Silver would be perfect, but we'll go with a little bit of grey. Running boards. Oh, I've done it again. I'll just go on my tyres as well. We don't actually have the VW hubcaps. We've got studs on ours, but you get the drift. Okay, we'll just colour her tyres, haven't we? I've missed half the wheel arch on this one. I must have had my thumb on it, I think. I'm sorry about the squeaky noise of us putting anyone's teeth on edge. Right, okay, so that's that for the grey, and I'll just bring back in that Poppy Parade and just finish that. Scribble out that grey. It's quite dark, so that can take a little while to scribble out. Just colour in that wheel arch there that I'd missed. There we go. That'll do. Okay, so we can get rid of those ink pads now and start sticking things together. Okay, so just make sure you put the lids back on your blender pens, otherwise they'll dry out. I'm not entirely sure what they contain, but some sort of blending fluid. Okay, so we're going to start with the beach one first, and we're going to have our little camper van sat on the beach. So I'm going to use some dimensionals just to pop that up. Okay. And 1, 2, 3. And let's just pop some on the back of the Beetle as well for when we're ready for that. Okay. Oops, 2 off there. And she does come with us sometimes. She's actually got a vintage caravan as well, which we pull with the Beetle. Okay, how are we doing here? 8 minutes. Okay, right, so what we're going to do, we're going to have a camper van on the beach, and hopefully that will detract from that smudge. My hands are filthy. Okay, so we're going to have a camper van on the beach there, on that one. I think we're going to have a Beetle in the trees. And then we've got a camper van and a Beetle left, so I think we'll do the camper van on the sunset and the Beetle in front of the hills. Now I could have done this with four camper vans, but I just wanted to show you the Beetle as well. So that's that one, and then we'll stick the, you can see I'm covering these dimensionals with ink because I've got it everywhere. I want to cover the camper van with it. We'll have our camper van on the sunset there, but I think we need something behind him. So for the camper van on the sunset, we could go with the trees. I think that one's done. I like that one. So what else have we got? We've got some grass. We've got some beach huts. Come on. Beach huts and some grass. And actually, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. I think we'll have the grass across the bottom of the sunset one with the camper in there, I think. Pop that in there like that. We like to park in a sunset, and we'll just put a little bit of glue behind that grass, just a tiny, tiny bit, just to get it to stick. Okay. Now, this isn't the way I would normally suggest you decorate your panels. I would suggest you put the bits on that are raised up and what have you afterwards. But for speed, I think this is going to be the way to go. And that won't matter if that overlaps a little bit onto the card. Okay, so those two are done. We've got a row of beach huts, which I feel we maybe need to have on the horizon, maybe. And we've got some more trees here, which we could pop in there. So I think what we'll do... Oh, hang on, have I got these the right way around? There's always a right way and a wrong way when you're die cutting. Right, that's the right way. Okay, so obviously we can trim these down to get those in there, which I think is what we will do. Okay, so pop a little bit of glue on the back of those. And we can trim any bits that are sticking out the sides afterwards. Excuse me, that wasn't clever, flipping it over. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck that end in there behind that section there. Actually, no, that section there. So I've now got glue on the heels, but that'll dry and I'll get that off with a glue rubber. Oh, come on, Julia. Let's just trim that off. Otherwise I'm never going to get that in there, am I? Oh, excuse me. I wanted to get it in there, and I had it in there a minute ago behind the dimensionals. Okay, I'm not going to do it now, am I? So in there like that. There we go. And then we're just going to trim off this section here. You never want to waste anything. That can go over here. And as I said, I can trim that up along the edge later. In a right gluey mess now. Okay, so that's that one, that's that one, that's that one. We just need our seaside one now. Okay, now I have got these pieces of fence that we could put in sort of beside the sea, like that. We could trim that down. Yeah, I quite like that. It looks almost like the prom, doesn't it? So I think the beach huts might get left this time. So let's just put a tiny bit of glue on these first couple of sections of fence, because I don't think we're going to need that much. Are we still recording? Yep, we are. Okay, and then let's just pop that in there like that. Oh, that lines up quite nicely with the edge actually. And then we can just snip that off there, and then we could use this other side over there. So we don't actually need the other piece of fence. I'll save that for something else. I'll see that somewhere else. Okay, so that's that there. Oops, a daisy. So I've turned that fence upside down. Oh, actually I haven't. It's the right way up, but that came off that end. And we're putting it round here now. So we're just going to try and get that in there so it's level. And then cut these last couple of sections off like that. Okay. See what that looks like with it sticking slightly over the edge, but if not, I'll trim that down. So we can put these pieces of fence to one side with the presents that we cut off earlier off the beetles, and they will get used for something else. Oh, excuse me, I'm very gluey. Okay, and then we've just got our beach huts, which I feel I want to sort of like pop in a horizon somewhere. Maybe behind the sunset, I think that'll do nicely there. That's my glue. Okay, and then I think we're almost done, and we can put the card together. Okay, So let's just pop these beach huts in behind our sunset. So they look like they're on the horizon and the camper van's parked in front of them. Oops, a daisy. Slid a bit. There we go. And then again, I'll just trim off the ends that we don't want. Okay, right, okay. So let's get these bits mounted up on our card base, which is here. So I'm going to use a little bit of wet glue. This is where we hopefully find I've done it the right way around. Okay. Okay, so this one is going to go on here. So this is where it's handy that you can lay it flat as well, not just to post, but to get these panels on. So that one's going on there. And I think we'll have a beetle on this one. I have got a few blobs of glue where I don't want them, but I will wait for that to dry. If you have got a glue rubber, never try and get it off until it's properly dry. So I'll probably leave this until tomorrow and try and get it off then. So this is going on our next section here. So we've got our camper van in the sunset with the beach huts in the distance, and then we've got our one last section, which is our last beetle. Now, I haven't actually left anywhere on here to put a greeting or to write on. You're thinking, where's she going to write on it? The whole point of this particular card is that it's sort of circular, so there's no front really. But what you could do is put a white panel. Just checking that's not very level, that'd be all right. You could put a white panel on this section here on any one of the sides, because you've got that on the same side. What I'll probably do is do another small panel there from some white. So cut, if you imagine another small panel cut there, you could put some DSP on there if you wanted to. You could put another small panel so you can put some different greetings. So I could use some of the greetings from the stamp sets. I could use that lovely after the storm, even the darkest night will pass and the sun will rise. I could use the driving by just to say hi, and actually I probably will do that, but since we've had to do this video in 2 parts, I'm going to call it a day here. So let's just have a quick look. So that's it stood up, you can see the top, and then we've got the little red beetle by the trees, the camper van at the beach with the sun shining down, the little red beetle by the hills, and the camper van with the beach huts and a sunset. Okay, so that's it from me for today. I will finish off the insides of that card once I've actually got clean hands. You can see how, well, hopefully you can see how grubby they are. So I don't really want to be handling white cardstock at the moment. And I'll put a picture up of the finished item with its white panels and everything once I've done that. Okay, thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with me if you've stuck it out through both parts of this video, and I will see you again soon. Happy stamping. Bye for now.